So after former President Obama claimed credit for our current economic boom yesterday, President Trump fired back, saying the boom is due to rolling back Obama's policies by cutting regulations and taxes. So who's right? Who cares? Think about it. The debate we're having isn't over how great things are. That ship has sailed. The media and the Dems see there's no more denying the success, so now it's about quibbling over credit. Fine, let the Dems have it. It won't win them election, but it might reduce their tears. Divorce rumors continue to escalate for the Obamas. Hopefully they can settle it like men.
Greg Gutfeld just torched the polished narrative around Barack Obama's legacy, reducing years of charisma and crafted speeches to ashes with sharp wit and blunt honesty. He dismantles the ideal of hope and change by laying bare a trail of empty promises, blind media devotion, and elite contradictions if you assumed his legacy was beyond criticism. Gutfeld just pulled off the mask, ran it through the shredder, and posed the one question no one else dares. What did he actually improve?
Helping the party to tell them to return to the rhetoric that helped them lose in 2024, like the dictator kind of stuff. It doesn't work on half the country. It's not going to get any better.
I don't think they have answers, and is it me? He's looking banged up.
Yeah, he's been having
it's the first time. It's something I've never seen with him. He looks scared.
Barack Obama pulled off a political illusion like no other, turning 8 years of letdowns into something critics treated like a top-rated streaming series. But Greg Gutfeld does not need illusions or wants, just blunt truth and a refusal to pretend that eloquent speeches can fix failing policies.
You to believe, not in my ability to bring about change, but in yours. Yes, we can. Yes, we did. Yes, we can.
Oh, God. It was a moving speech, and the audience response equally moving. So if the Obama presidency were a film, this speech would be the climax. All that's missing is the horse, the sunset, the rousing closing music as the title card reads the end, perhaps in...
Let us be clear, he treated leading a nation like updating a social profile, all style, no substance. You would think he cured global disease, balanced the economy, and achieved miracles based on public reaction, but Gutfeld looks at the facts and wonders what he really accomplished besides drone attacks and photo ops with celebrities.
Somebody that you don't like and you try to lose them at the party. That's what Obama has done to Joe. He's lost them at the party, and now he's moving on. And then he tweets, and then you find out that he's tweeting about something else while you're at the party. And it's just, I think it's kind of mean to Joe. The second thing is that it's part of that I told you mechanism that only happens when things are good. Because do you think Obama would take any responsibility if the good times were actually bad times?
Gutfeld tears back the presentation like someone finally reading the terms on a bad deal. Obama entered with big promises, but by the end, hope was worn out and change was camped out. Behind a health food store, the economy dragged while the media called it a marathon. Wages stayed stuck, but the praise never stopped, as if he handed out miracles.
President Obama took another stand against evil yesterday, lashing out at ISIS, pernicious gang crime and human rights abuses in left-wing dictatorships like Venezuela and Cuba. I was kidding. He went after Fox News again.
I think the effort to suggest that the poor are sponges, leeches, are...
Consider the stimulus plan that was hyped as an economic lifesaver. Gutfeld says it was more like dumping sports drinks on a wildfire and wondering why the forest burned it became a billion-dollar gesture with flashy signs bragging about recovery that never quite materialized. The signs themselves cost more than the few jobs they claim to represent.
Act of wonderfully skewed priorities, President Obama will appear in a reality TV show in which he gets survival tips from Bear Grylls in Alaska. Funny how far that is from the streets of Chicago, outposts in need of real survival training, much like the streets of Baltimore, Milwaukee, New York, New Orleans, where citizens are ventilated.
And healthcare that was supposed to be the crown achievement, or maybe more like a painful crown of thorns. Gutfeld tears into it like a holiday display during a blackout. The launch was so poor it seemed designed by clueless interns, and those promises about keeping your doctor turned into punchlines. Gutfeld still jokes his might be in Canada. Now, what was called affordable became a maze of confusion and financial pain. As for that Peace Prize, Greg still finds it hilarious, giving him an award for intentions. Felt like handing medals for just showing up. The media clapped even as foreign strikes killed civilians in surveillance. Quietly expanded, Obama spoke of transparency but gave us state-sponsored spying. Gutfeld compares it to the biggest decaf switch in modern politics. People nodded along as privacy disappeared because he said it all nicely.
Obama surprised fans on our new podcast by saying her pet peeve about her husband is that he's chronically late. For example, we're still waiting on him to admit he's from Kenya. And as for Barack's pet peeve about Michelle, he's mad that she keeps leaving the toilet seat up. When she cleans it. When she cleans it.
Obama was sold as the protector of everyday people. But when it came to Wall Street, his resistance was imaginary. Gutfeld describes it like hiring a predator to protect prey, then acting shocked when chaos followed. Banks flourished with no real pushback, while the public got foreclosures and cheap slogans. Obama did not need loyal press staff. He had a media complex doing public relations work for him. Gutfeld calls it journalism at its most obedient, where every blunder had a spin, and even a sneeze became a sign of genius.
Maybe Obama had something to do with today's economy. I mean, without Obama, would we have Trump? Fact is, this debate says a lot about life today. The Trump economy is so great that Trump haters now want credit for it. Next thing you know, Obama will claim credit for putting kids in cages.
Look at education. Obama's big solution was to flood bureaucracies with money and hope results would magically appear. Gutfeld calls it trickle-down education, a system where billions went to unions while kids still could not read by adulthood. Urban schools did not improve, they just got rebranded and covered in buzzwords and on gun control. Obama preached about limits while being surrounded by more protection than a movie villain. Gutfeld rolls his eyes and points out the double standard. If hypocrisy were a sport, Obama would earn medals while posing with a prompter. He deported more than anyone else, while being hailed as compassionate. Yes, those cages were built under him. They just came with softer lights and soothing music.
5 more words.
Fact, Obama's now a Republican.
Everyone knows that getting rid of the deficit will require some tough decisions. And that includes cutting back on billions of dollars in programs that a lot of people care about. But what should be easy is getting rid of the pointless waste and stupid spending that doesn't.
And the debt. Gutfeld still cannot believe anyone calls Obama responsible with money. He almost doubled it, and somehow people called it good leadership. Gutfeld likens it to calling a fire starter a heating expert. Obama may have inherited problems, but then made them worse, decorated the chaos, and blamed the mess on others. And after leaving office, he did not fade away. He became the most expensive voiceover artist in the country. Gutfeld jokes that he is ready to replace Morgan Freeman, already dressed for the role. Now Obama lives among the tech elite, sipping wine and giving speeches, while acting surprised when his own legacy collapses under new leadership. Gutfeld notes that many of Obama's policies were as lasting as a whiteboard, full of temporary notes erased quickly when the next person arrived.
On Sunday, Val Jarrett went on CNN to defend her pal, President Obama. I wonder if the president prides himself on the fact that his administration hasn't had a scandal and that he hasn't done something to embarrass himself.
The president prides himself on the fact that his administration hasn't had a scandal and that he hasn't done anything to embarrass himself.
Now that's a low bar for achievement. He hasn't embarrassed himself. But it's true, no one on his staff was caught in bed with a giraffe yet. But to agree with Val, you gotta ignore the IRS, the DOJ, Benghazi, Secret Service, Bo Bergdahl, and the secret server that led to the Orange Crush.
And let us not forget Obama. Talked about unity, but operated through division and distraction. While the nation argued about bathrooms and pronouns, he stayed above it all, as if he had not just stirred the chaos. Gutfeld argues he weaponized political correctness until dissent became taboo and jokes became dangerous. Obama was not clueless. He was strategic, every word planned, every pause deliberate, every controversy handled with a delay for effect. Gutfeld sees it all as political theater and dismisses the scandal-free myth as just another trick the press helped bury uncomfortable. Truths like family drama hidden in the basement.
We woke up to breaking news. Obama isn't woke at all.
This idea of purity and you're never compromised and you're always politically woke and all that stuff, you should get over that quickly. The world is messy. There are ambiguities. People who do really good stuff have flaws. Like if I tweet or hashtag about how you didn't do something right or used the wrong verb, or then I can sit back and feel pretty good about myself because, man, you see how woke I was?
Obama did not shrink the swamp. He commercialized it, bureaucracy exploded, power spread, and government became shinier but not better. Gutfeld jokes that under Obama the government grew like a novelty plant, just add media praise and watch incompetence flourish. And then there was the arrogance, Gutfeld says. Obama could ruin something simple and still praise himself for the effort while blaming others for the result. By the end, America was not transformed. It was exhausted, broke, confused, and weighed down by flowery speeches. Obama promised to lift the nation, but mostly elevated himself, and the applause never stopped.
It's a scandal telling America you can keep your doctor, a callous deception that hurts millions. And it's a scandal of will to deny a toxic doctrine fomenting apocalyptic violence. And it's a scandal to ignore the modern Black Death, a plague currently crippling Chicago. Obama's tenure had more dirty linen than Charlie Sheen's hamper. But when your heart's in the right place, doing the wrong thing's always forgivable. And maybe scandal was just so common.
Gutfeld is not just criticizing Obama. He is asking everyone to take a hard look behind the brand behind the polished photos and rehearsed lines. He sees someone who sold inspiration like a gadget and led, like someone who handed off the real work. Gutfeld has barely started, and he is already pointing to how tech censorship and identity politics found fuel in Obama's shadow, while institutions became battlegrounds for social performance and curated outrage. Obama still floats above it all, commenting only when nostalgia is needed, but Gutfeld laughs. This is the man who set the stage for cultural chaos. Hashtags replaced action, and virtue replaced leadership, but as long as the speeches flowed and the lights were flattering, everyone pretended things were not falling apart in slow motion.